check this out. There we go. Unzip that.
Oh, so that the sound can pass through. All right, let's get this over with. Thanks, Brett. Are we good? Everything.
You can start talking. Yeah. Hit me with the first question.
First question. You ready for questions? You here to answer questions?
I mean, what else are we gonna
Did you
do?
just not just take an online survey that was full of moral questions?
Yes,
You
and
want
I
some
feel
more
like
moral questions?
we answered them. We're done.
Oh, we don't need to do that anymore?
No. Yeah. No more morals.
No more. So you're a graphic design major? What's your backup?
Ask me questions that you don't know. You know I'm a graphic design major.
But do you think I'm asking you questions that
P.S.
I want answers to?
Well, I hope so.
These people who are watching wherever they are don't know you.
Okay. Yes, I'm a graphic design major.
What's your backup plan?
Graphic design.
That's your only plan?
No.
What's your other plans?
Hopefully go to med school
And you're applying there now?
if I get in.
You think you'll get in? Okay, honestly, let's not be like, you're being coy and maybe a little modest. Do you think you'll get into med school or won't?
There's a 50-50 shot right now for me.
Okay,
Statistically,
yeah,
I hope it's over 50.
yeah. And you think by the time you do these in May, test is in May?
Yeah, I mean, if I get in with the interview, then I just have to get an average on this test, and
Yeah.
that'll be.
Your confidence level here on the scale of 0 to 10 is a what? Your confidence level.
We'll give it a healthy 6.5, just because if I say a number higher and I don't get in, I'm gonna feel pretty bad.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Do what I just your bets. What do you think, like, the people assembled in this room's opinion are of that number? If you were to take a poll, there's 6 people in
We
here.
can take a poll.
Yeah. What do you think it would be?
Well, what do we think?
I want you to put words in my mouth.
Yeah, project.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, over under what I said then?
Yeah, over under.
They'll say over, just because they're very supportive.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
think they're being honest or are they just being supportive?
No, I think they're being both.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, do we want him to go to med school? That's the other question.
Well, maybe they'd say less so that I
So that you don't.
wouldn't.
Yeah. Do you think?
Mind games.
I want Matt to face hardship, trauma, and failure.
Well, that's what
I don't think I have.
Did you get that?
that's what this conversation's about, right? Yeah.
Are we unearthing my trauma and failure right now?
No, we're saying this conversation is a traumatic
This is
failure.
We're out of time.
There seems to be an expectation that maybe these don't go well, but then people sit down and they go really well. It's like, I don't know what all the hubbub is about.
I didn't even know about the hubbub. I actually didn't even know this was happening until we watched one the other week. So
Yeah, what'd you think?
I think it was great.
Yeah. When you run, so what, you run track, right?
Yes,
Yeah. And you run distance or you run sprints?
I run sprints.
What's your favorite event?
Probably the 200. Actually, javelin. Javelin is new and exciting.
For you or for college athletics or new for who?
New for me. I started it. I did it once last year. Now we're gonna do it with a little bit more practice this year.
Nice. Did we talk about javelin last week a little bit?
Did we?
Did we?
Well, I actually.
I was
don't.
having a conversation with someone very recently about javelin throwers and how some of them will undergo Tommy John surgery on purpose
That was it.
so
Yeah,
that they
yep.
can throw the javelin specifically harder. That was us.
That was us.
Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah. I mean,
That you get cut just so you can, like, I mean, I guess it's not bizarre. People take PEDs all the time.
yeah. Is it on the same level as doping? I don't know.
What do you think? This is back to the moral questions.
Yeah. I mean, I certainly see it as performance enhancing, and it's not a drug, but it's of the same vein. So
Procedure intentionally to give you an advantage.
exactly, yeah.
That's a gray area.
Yeah.
What if they ask you that question in this conversation, this interview that you have?
Well, now I've got an answer. So
Which is what?
that's wrong.
Oh, all right. Preloaded this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're running sprints, like, do you run like someone's chasing you?
I actually like to run like I'm chasing someone else.
Oh, you're trying to catch somebody.
Yeah.
Does that work like mentally? Like I'm going to catch that person in front of me.
I like to be positioned, so in indoor, you don't want the innermost lane
Yeah.
because that's way too tight and your
Yeah.
ankles will just bust.
Yeah, the curves are weird.
But the second lane from in, then you can see two people in front of you.
Yeah.
You chase. If I get positioned on the outside lane, I try to go back to my soccer days and I imagine there's a ball rolling across the track and I have to get to it before it gets to the other side.
Yeah, you have to like put yourself in a mental like construct.
Yeah, you got to make a game for yourself.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Do you run distance? Did you used to run distance?
no, I never ran anything more than a 400.
Okay, because that mental construct I think applies to a lot of those situations. Like distance runners have to psych themselves into
Yeah.
doing things. I bike a lot, and you have to like give yourself micro goals or like psych yourself up until like there's a dog chasing me. I have to go up this hill. Like it's a construct as much. It's interesting you're talking about like a soccer ball rolling. That's weird because you
Just got to get to it.
have a scenario. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's like a joke, we'll be running and it's like, if I don't beat this car to the stop sign, my whole family. Yes.
Yeah, right? Yeah, you gotta like make it believable
Yeah.
to yourself.
Yeah. It's very real. And it actually works.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have indoor tracks that are actually curved some degrees on the
Like banked.
Yeah, do they bank the corners in some of them? Is that a thing sometimes or
Yeah.
never?
Yeah, but at the D3 collegiate level, not a thing.
That's maybe like higher level.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to equalize the turn
Yeah.
so the inside lanes aren't such an extreme angle.
Yeah. You actually have to run uphill, and then you'll run on the curve, and then you'll run downhill.
Got it. So you get a little bit of bump off of the downhill
Yeah.
part. When I was in college, roller hockey was a huge thing, and they had outdoor rinks all over. Specifically in California, I think the whole league was probably out there. But the rinks were outdoor, and the floor behind the nets along the boards were banked, so that the people who were on rollerblades could like ride up the wall and then shoot back down the wall, so that they weren't having to try to slide stop in the back behind the net because it's really hard to slide stop on rollerblades. So it's like that was a professional league. It was like a thing.
You were in that?
No, I didn't. I played, but I didn't play at that level. We used to play in rec leagues and stuff. They didn't have the money to bank the floors, so we played on like a ice rink sized like composite floor.
Okay.
But no, these are outdoor in California.
I'll go visit them.
I'm not sure they exist anymore.
Show
I
'em
feel like they
what's
set them up on the beaches. It was like a whole culture of things. It's kind of interesting.
Someday.
Do you think like there's a relationship between like the medical field and the design field and like in your work?
I feel like that's been a question that I've been trying to reconcile and figure out for the past 4 years.
Yeah.
Just because whenever I say my two majors, the number one thing people say is like, oh, interesting,
Yeah.
and like why?
Why are these
Yeah.
two things being velcroed together?
Yeah. And I think sometimes when I think about how does medicine and design relate, you can go to like the very stereotypical, the body is a design, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
and I design, and
Yeah.
God designs, and
Yeah.
like, I don't like that answer.
Yeah.
So sometimes it feels forced to try to relate the two just because they are very different. But at the same time, I think the way that I'm learning how doctors, make a treatment plan is not too dissimilar to the way you might approach a problem in design, and that the need for creative problem solving in both fields is something that is becoming increasingly more like needed, just because design is something you can now outsource to anywhere in the world,
Right.
and medicine is something that you're now hitting new problems because you have new technology and you need new solutions. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you see a situation where like medical services and customer service become the same thing? It's like telemarketing, Doctor 101. There's not an actual person. You
I don't know.
punch a bunch of buttons on a phone and you
I see those you see those billboards with the big screen and the person's kind of peeking through the screen. And we even sat next to it in the downtown market. It was like, that was the number one thing on the door. I don't know if okay, I understand we're trying to like increase healthcare, and I think that's a great thing. But I also think that if you're trying to increase it at such a rapid rate because you don't have enough physicians,
Yeah.
in a way that kind of, I don't know, it cheapens the interaction between the patient and the physician.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, if like there's a small problem, that's a great avenue to take.
Yeah.
But if it's going to be a yearly checkup, which is what they're trying to push for, then I don't know if you're going to catch as many things as you would in person. So
I can't imagine it being an assessment tool. Like, how would you assess somebody's symptoms or like causes if you can't actually meet them and like look in their mouth and like ask them a litany of questions and like
yeah,
spend time with them in a room?
yeah,
Yeah. Customer service is that way. Like, you can't have phone customer service is dying out entirely. Like, it's all like go to a website and like, talk to a robot on a chat message board or just look for the information that's
Yeah.
already been answered.
I mean, as long as I don't have to call and then go through a phone tree,
Well, that's the problem.
then yeah.
The phone trees, they're like dead ends now. And if you get
Yeah.
to a person, they're in the Philippines or in
That's
India.
why I hate my bank. My bank does that.
Yeah, they've outsourced it.
Sucks.
I spent like 5 hours on the phone on behalf of my parents in the past week, trying to get their AT&T scenario
Oh
resolved.
yeah, don't even get me started on Comcast.
And I ended up talking to a dude in India, and in the background you could hear chickens talking. Like, I was talking.
Chickens talking,
Literally, there was like.
clucking.
You hear chickens talk?
I hear
He's starting to
chickens
go crazy over
chickens all the
here.
time.
He's hearing chickens talk.
through the phone. There's a guy. And in the background, there's chickens. Okay, I think you all know when I said chickens talking, you all know what I meant.
Yeah, I guess we did.
Yeah. Anyway, and it was like, this is not, and you went through that whole tree to find out that you can't get service. You guys are jerks. You know what? You'll be happy to know we're out of time.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I don't have a game for you. I do have a game for you. Part 2, which will be a two-parter, where the first
Okay.
two-parter is we're going to race chairs in the hallway.
He doesn't get to balance the stick.
You want to bounce the stick?
Is that the game at the
You
end?
want to pet the pig or bounce the stick?
Maybe Matt wants an awkward handshake.
Maybe he wants an awkward handshake, yeah.
Okay, the first issues were obsessively long, awkward handshake, or balance stick. That was the choice offered to everyone.
Okay.
Obsessively long, awkward handshake, or balance stick.
Yeah, do it.
Do it, Matt.
The awkward handshake?
Handshake. Handshake. Handshake.
All right.
Alright, we're just gonna get up as we
How does it go?
go like this.
Yeah!
That wasn't long enough.
Longer.
Come in, back for it. Elbow shake.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thank you guys.
That's your water, by the way.
Many thanks for watching. Be sure and to like and subscribe to The Beam. To do so, exert continuous physical force on the like button, should be over there. And we'll be back on the press next week with another episode. Until then, stay well, keep your balance, and stay on The Beam.